welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to try something for the first time. I'm going to try forcing Paperwhites. So I've seen these on a lot of blogs like Miss Mustard Seed and some of the other farmhouse type ones I watch. And I've always wanted to try it, so I figured I would go ahead and give it a shot. Before I get started, let me just warn you, these are poisonous, so if you have kids or pets, keep that in mind. I'm going to keep mine in my kitchen window, which my dogs will never get to. So I'm going to show you what I picked up, and then we're going to go ahead and get started. So I picked up a container of rocks. I just picked these up at Walmart, and they were, I think, $3.50 maybe. You could probably use ones from outside, but you might want to clean them first, like boil them or something. I also picked up some moss just to cover them to make it look a little prettier. I picked up my Paperwhites at Home Depot, and these were inside in the Christmas section. They had like a little shelf area of Christmas bulbs, so they had these and some amaryllis and some other things. And you get 6 bulbs for $6.98. And then I just got some containers here that I'm going to try putting them in. So I picked up this little gravy boat at a thrift store. I paid $4 for this. And then I have this little one that I had upstairs. And I'm going to see if I can get some in here too and give them to my grandmother. So, from what I've read, because this is the first time for me also, all you have to do is make sure that the roots stay submerged. So when you pull the bulbs out of the bag, this is what they're going to look like. This part's all going to stick above the gravel and the water, and then this part's the part that's got to stay in it. So some people have said they've even grown them in a special vase that only requires water. And I'm going to go ahead and see if we can kind of arrange these so they're going to look cute. So I'm going to start by pouring some rocks in. I'm going to do it carefully so I don't break my containers. It's also important, obviously, that your container is waterproof. So not like a flower pot with ceramic that'll leach the water out. So I put a little layer in there. I'm just going to nestle this in and see if it's going to... Alright. Add a little bit more rocks. So you can see I've got about that much of it full of rocks. And now before I put the bulbs in, I'm going to go ahead and fill it with water. And I want the water to come almost to the top of the rocks. So that way, when I push the bulbs in, the bottom will stay wet, but the tops won't. Alright, so now it should be as simple as nestling the bulbs in. And this container is kind of small, so I'm only going to go for 2 in this one. And you'll notice I'm working on a paper towel. These are really messy. So we're going to do that. Now something else that I read, and this is kind of going to be an experiment as I go along, is that this part here, the little shoot, this is where the flower is going to come out of. They have a tendency to get really tall and top heavy, so they'll fall over. So I've read that when this part gets to be about 2 inches, 1 to 2 inches tall, so it'd be like that, you pour out the water mixture and you replace it with a water and alcohol mixture. I'll provide a link in the description box to give you like the exact like ratio of it. It's supposed to slow down the growth to like 1/2 to 1/3 so they don't get tall and fall over. So I'm not sure if it's going to work, but I'm going to give it a shot. So now I've got these guys in here, and I feel like there might be a little too much water. I'm going to pour some of it off. Okay. Alright, so they're in here. The bottoms are wet. I'm just going to cover it with some moss. And I picked reindeer moss. They had some other kind too. But this one was all dark green and I thought it looked more Christmassy. And I'm just going to cover the top of the rocks lightly. Just so that it looks a little fancy. I don't even think you need to put anything over the rocks. Some people even use dirt. But I feel like having gravel is going to be a much easier way to tell if they're wet or dry, because you can just poke your finger down into the rock. So yeah. And then all you have to do is keep it in a window, I guess. I'm going to put it in my kitchen window. And we'll see what happens. I'll give you guys updates. If you follow me on Instagram, that's probably the best place to see the updates, because I'll do picture updates as it goes along. But here's the first one that's in the ironstone. And these are supposed to be flowering within 3 to 4 weeks, according to the internet. Like I said, I'm not an expert on this. And the other thing about Paperwhites that makes them special is they don't need to have a cold period like other bulbs do. So when I was reading up on them, apparently other ones like crocuses and hyacinths and them, you have to keep in a really cold period before you can plant them and try and force them. Otherwise they don't grow at all. So these are one of the few ones, I think these and amaryllis, that you can go ahead and just put them in and they don't need a cold period first. Okay, so now I'm going to add some water to this container. And again, I think I put a little too much in. Okay, so I've got the rocks, you can see, up almost to the lid. And I'm going to go ahead and see how many bulbs I can fit in this one. I think this is going to be another one of 2 bulbs. And you know, these outside shells are peeling off. I don't know if I'm supposed to keep them on or off, so I'm keeping them on. I guess we'll find out. We'll learn together. Okay, so that, making sure that the base stays in there. That's good. And then I'm going to go ahead and cover this one in the moss too. And I'm going to take this one down to my grandmother later because she's the one who got me into flowers. She's always had really pretty flowers in her yard and she's always taken really good care of them. And she's got like a back porch that's kind of like a sunroom with all kinds of plants. So that's kind of where I started to get my love of flowers from. And I'm going to take these down to her later, but let me set them. I'm going to put them in the window for now. I'm going to turn the camera around because I kind of want to show you guys how they look. They look a little alien-ish, honestly, until they start to do something. But hopefully they'll start to do something soon. So, alright, let me turn you guys around and show you how it turned out. Okay, so here's how they turned out. That's the one I'm keeping here. And that's the one I'm going to take to my grandma. I'm going to see if I can fit one in a teacup maybe and bring that one down to my mom's because she could set that in her kitchen window too. But yeah, that's what they look like right now. So follow me on Instagram. I'm Frugal Farmhouse. I'll do like photo updates maybe weekly so we can kind of measure the progress and see how it works. And then I'll also weigh in on how that whole alcohol water mixture works. But I want to thank you guys for going along on this adventure with me. And I hope maybe I encourage some of you to try it. And I'll see you in the next video.